everybody, welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and you guys remember Cuties, right? That Netflix film about 11-year-old girls that Netflix hypersexualized and made it very uncomfortable for the internet, and we all united to condemn the film? Yeah, that one. Well, happy to report the film is still coming out, and the filmmaker behind it, who I do feel bad for because I don't believe she had anything to do with the marketing of the film, because apparently, the more I've read, the film isn't at all like its marketing, but she's out there trying to do damage control for her own self-being as well as Netflix. The headline being, Cuties director says she received death threats after Netflix poster Backlash. Ted Sarandos called her to apologize. Look, I sadly believe this. The internet sucks, and that's where people go to immediately. Sending her death threats is problematic when, especially, you haven't seen the movie. You're just reacting to some idiot in Netflix's marketing department. And Netflix really does need to take more of a hit and the responsibility on this one. So it's good to hear he called. But, you know, getting this out there is also clearly PR. This is all PR to try to, you know, clear the air to get people to actually come back and see the film. And judging by what I've read about the filmmaker here, this is her name is Maimouna Doucoure. She's a French filmmaker. She explains, you know, a little bit more about the film, and obviously was upset by the backlash because she didn't have anything to do with the marketing of it. And so Netflix, you know, did quickly amend the blunder, switching out the artwork to be more like the French theatrical poster, and unreservedly apologizing for what it called inappropriate and non-representative promotional effort. So while they did come forward and quickly swap it out, how did it happen is still a lot of people's questions. And obviously people were freaking out, and that's when we get to this point. The truth is, the movie, as it's well been covered by reviews and audience reactions since its buzzy Sundance and Berlinale screenings, it is a nuanced, sensitive tale of preteen girl who gets caught between two cultures, her conservative religious upbringing, and the pull of her liberal French schoolgirls who are influenced by the internet and social media. The reality appears to have been lost in the storm, and the truth is, for very few people reacting so strongly, will have actually that people react so strongly have not seen the film, is what they're saying. And so the reality is, this is more of what the film is, and this is. And the truth is, this is a story that needs to be told. Every day I'm out there seeing over-sexualized everything, from TV to movies to Instagram. It's crazy for kids, especially young girls and young boys, to be honest. And so it's not good. So if this film really can definitely talk about that in a way, then we should still support the movie and the director. The marketing of the film, however, I think was absolutely correct in condemning as loudly as we all did. But I need to see Netflix really make it clear, and I think it's not going to happen until the film's out, to be honest. But this is clearly PR damage control to try and get people to be aware of, hey, that marketing was wrong. Things happened fairly quickly because after the delays, the film had been delayed due to the pandemic, but it did release in French cinemas in August, and people went and saw it. I was completely concentrated on the film's release in France. I discovered the poster at the same time as the American public, she reveals. My reaction? It was a strange experience. I hadn't seen the poster until after I started getting all these reactions on social media, direct messages from people, attacks on me. I didn't understand what was going on. That was when I went and saw that was when I went and saw what the poster looked like. It goes without saying, but Doucoure does emphasize that she is, of course, against the hypersexualization of children, which she was accused of online. The torrent of abuse got so serious she actually received threats against her life, the director tells Deadline in her first interview since the incident. I received numerous attacks on my character from people who had not seen the film, who thought I was actually making a film that was apologetic and hypersexualization of children. I also received numerous death threats. Tessa Thompson did help promote the film, saying it wasn't the film she saw, but she said she also was flooded with positive message after the initial negativity. Those who had seen the film at Sundance and Berlin really supported her and have helped to highlight the real message to the movie. Doucoure said she also received extraordinary support from the French government and that the film will be used as an educational tool in her home country. Regarding how she feels about that Netflix poster, the streamer still won't be drawn on whether the artwork was made in-house by their own team or if it was an agency, and how it managed to get through quality control by Netflix. Those are the questions I think a lot of us are trying to actually get answered by them. The filmmaker states it clearly. It was not representative of the film and especially its message. And while her voice is tinged with frustration, she is level-headed and emphasizes that Netflix did make serious effort to apologize to her. We had several discussions back and forth after this happened. Netflix apologized publicly and also personally to me, she says. That apology, turns out, took in the form of a direct call from Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos. Doucoure won't reveal what the pair said, but she suggests she was comforted by their chat and isn't bearing any grudges. Streamers are a great way to get my stories out there and share my messages with more people, she adds positively. As evidence, the director mentions she's already writing another project for a streaming service, so she won't specify at this time whether that's Netflix or another. She's simultaneously working on a film aimed at theatrical that will be set in North America and Africa. The piece does go on to continue to explain why she made the film and more, really, I think, justifying that the film is not what I think a lot of us people online were overreacting to. It does not, it's not what the marketing is sort of trying to make it look like. She explains that, and she explains where it came from, and how, you know, I hope that those who haven't seen it will see it, and I can't wait to see the reaction. Hopefully you'll understand that we're actually on the same side of this battle. If we join forces, we can make a big change in this world that hypersexualizes children. And so that, look, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, and I think that's important as she describes her story. You can go check out the full interview over there. But I think it's important we not just jump to judgment. That's what we do, right? Now, look, accountability is important. You know, cancel culture is a real thing, and people overdo it on social media. But at the same time, people make mistakes. Companies make mistakes. Marketing departments make mistakes. We are allowed to react to that. And that poster was ridiculous. The synopsis, everything about how they were selling that movie was awful. And whoever is involved in that shouldn't be canceled, but we need to make sure they are educated as to why that's not how we should be marketing things. There was clearly someone who was taught the wrong way of, the wrong approach that I just want to make sure is being taught or corrected, because that wasn't a proper way to market a film. And so that's, I think, where a lot of frustration rightfully came from. At the same time, it's an interesting, we got to look from it from her perspective, the filmmaker, and we have to see the film. The film opens September 9th, and so I think we need to make sure on Netflix, we need to make sure we, give her the benefit of the doubt too, right? We need to make sure that the film maybe, as she said, isn't actually doing the things that we're fighting for when we saw that poster. The film could very well be a message about why this is dangerous. And how young children are being overly sexualized in the media and elsewhere. So that being the case, it sounds like, from the director. Again, I haven't seen the film. I look forward to seeing the film. I am going to watch the film now out of all this curiosity. I think a lot of people will too. So it is weird. As much as it seems like it's bad press, I think a lot of people will now go try to watch it to condemn it further, or just watch it out of curiosity. In which case, if it's truly the film she's saying it is, and the people who saw it at Sundance say it is, which is a powerful, important film talking about this subject, then I'm all for it. So stay tuned for more of that. What do you guys think? It's interesting to see it from the other side of the director, who had nothing to do with this, and he was like, that's not my movie. What are you guys attacking me for? Don't attack me. I made a movie. Just because you saw a trailer and a poster that took a lot of it out of context doesn't mean that was the message of my movie. And if you watch a trailer, you do get a sense of it's a young girl stuck between two different, completely conservative and a more social media addicted society. And I think that's a struggle that most kids, let's be honest, a lot of adults are currently stuck in, and we need to find a voice who can walk that line and help us sort of see it, to make sure we're paying attention to it. And if anything, this poster and everything, it brought it to its attention, not only the film, but the importance of, let's stop doing that, Netflix. Media all over, everywhere. It happens all the time. So there you go. Another side of the story. Cuties, what do you guys think? Are you going to give it a shot, or have you already written it off? Is there nothing they can do to solve it? Do you still blame this director, even though she's telling you it wasn't her vision? Tell me all that down below in the comments, or hit me up on social media. It is Thursday night, Nerd Wars. We have a fun one. It's going to be all Tenet. If you haven't seen it or don't want to see it, we're going to explain it all to you. Lots more in store here on Popcorn Planet, so be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.